to know. And also too, if you have a brokerage, is it still serving you? So Alex and I had been talking about this recently, just because one thing that we noticed from a lot of agents that we've worked with, they'll stay with the company for a really, really, really long time, but they don't necessarily look to see if there's something better that's going to be for them, that's going to give them more. Okay. So a lot of times there's a loyalty that comes into play with their broker. They like their broker, but is that company, is that broker really the best place for you to work in your career? You're the one that's bringing in all the sales. Without your sales, they don't have the money coming in, right? So we want to talk about that. And I think first off, Alex wanted to talk a little bit about, what if you do decide to get into real estate? How is that going to look for you in trying to choose a brokerage? What really is important starting off? And Alex, really because of the fact that you haven't been in real estate as long as I have, that's something that's a little fresher to you.
No, absolutely. And thank you for, bringing me in on this because I absolutely would love to talk about this. I think it is very important. When I started out, I was very fortunate that I had people in real estate to guide me. Most people don't. Most people going into real estate, especially after we're still waiting on the numbers for how many people joined in 2020, but I know a lot of people got into real estate in 2020 and it's a booming industry. It's consistently growing. But people need to understand, the differences, and they need to have this information provided to them before they go and they choose this broker. Because the way the system's set up, you have to go to school, choose your broker just so you can get to the test. You're locking in with this person already that you're going to work with before you even pass the darn test. I mean, that's its own thing. I don't really understand that, but that's why it's all the more important we get the information out to people. You know, it's really nice and flashy when you see stuff as a not even an agent yet. You're still, just somebody trying to pass the test to become an agent, and you see somebody offering you 100% split. Oh, doesn't that sound great? 100% split, but you have to pay attention to everything else. 100% split doesn't mean you're going to, yes, it means technically you can make 100% of your commission, but what else is there? Why are they offering you this 100% split when nobody else is? How can they do it? What are they asking of you in return? As far as, are they are asking higher desk fees? Some places charge hundreds more a month in desk fees. Is for places that offer you a 90-10 or an 80-20, what's their cap? Do you even know what a cap is? Would be a good question. Laurie, if you'd like, can you explain to these people what a cap is for a real estate company?
Yeah, a cap is super important. And the truth of it is that most real estate companies do not have a cap. Okay. And a cap means how much money do you need to pay into a company before you can get to 100%. Okay. So with a 100% company, you're still paying in something. So most of the time there's like maybe a $5,000, $10,000, $12,000 commitment that you're going to give that real estate company, whether it's a monthly, wait, maybe you're paying 1,000 a month, maybe you're paying 2,000 a month in order to meet that total amount that the broker is required to get from you. And that's whether you sold a home or not. Maybe it's 5,000. Maybe they get that from the first few transactions, you get 50-50. Okay. So then you're truly not getting 100% on all your transactions. You're getting 50-50 until you hit that 5,000. Okay. And if you're not, let's say you have another job and you're trying to build your real estate career, and maybe you only have 3 homes that you sell the first year. Well, those 3 are definitely going to be 50-50 splits with that broker, because that's what it's going to take to meet that $5,000. So that's going to be really hard for you to scale your business up with that, that mindset. And again, why is that broker willing to give you 100% after the 50-50 when it hits that 5,000? Well, think about it. They know what their number needs to be. They know how many agents they need in order to sell homes. They know what the average realtor sells, which is 5 to 7 homes a year. Okay. A lot of times 2 or 3 if they're just starting out, but they know how many agents that they need. That will get them the money that they need in order to pay for their overhead and also have a really nice amount of money they're building up. That is basically, for that broker, it's called residual income. Okay, so the broker is making residual income while you're doing all the sales, and they're taking a percentage from you. So think about that before you go and work with a company that is offering, 100%. What are the true terms? for
Yeah.
that? What does that look like?
Well,
Right.
and when you're talking about that, just wanted to touch on something real quick. Okay, you're starting out in real estate and you're doing your first 3 deals and you're getting 50-50, and the average in the Columbus market right now, it was 180 last year. I want to say it's probably closer to 200 this year. I'd have to double check. But okay, so say you're selling a home, it's 200,000, and your commission is 3% and you're getting 50-50 of that. You know, you start to actually break down the math and see how little you're getting. You have to consider, okay, right off the bat, already paid for real estate school. Now, whether or not you put that on a card or you paid that off, that's your situation. But now you have to consider dues. Now you have to consider, marketing, buying signs, buying, lock boxes and stuff. If you're going on a 50-50 split, maybe they're paying for the lock boxes, but they're not paying for your dues. I mean, that could take up half of your first sale, or most of your first sale. And so then you have to think, okay, if you only sell 3 homes that year, well, guess what? Next year's coming right around the corner and you got to pay your dues again. And you're going to be right back on if I'm not mistaken, you'd be back on the 50-50 split again the next year
Correct.
for the first
Right.
couple sales.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you don't have a breakout year your first year and sell a bunch of homes, you don't even break out of that 50-50
No,
split right away,
no,
you
you
know?
don't. You don't. And then on top of that, typically a brokerage will give you a bill every single month. So if there's things that they are wanting budgeting, they want to maybe advertise for the office, you're going to help pay for that. If they're getting together for some type of breakfast, it's, monthly for your meetings, you're going to be paying something towards that. So there's always things that are going to be almost, I'm not going to say nickel and dime, but to where the broker has to look at how much money they can get from you, okay, in order to serve you to what they have stated they're going to do, right? So those types of things, those bills can add up. Not only that, but do you have a transaction fee
Hmm.
that's included on your bill? Okay, so when you actually close, is there a transaction fee? Is there E&O insurance that doesn't cap? Are you always paying the E&O insurance? Okay, so those are the things that you really need to look at. Now, when you're with a company, and this is, you've already chosen who you work with, like Alex said, you have to pick somebody before you really know you want to work for them. When you're working for them already, at what point in your career do you realize how much money you're giving your broker? For me, the very first broker that I worked for, I was on a 50-50 straight. It wasn't, 50% for the first 3 or 4 deals, it was 50-50. And then after you could get to some point where you were doing good sales volume, they might bump you up to 60, percent or 70%, but that was years later. And what I had realized is because I was somebody that took action, I went out and, built those relationships, and I was able to quickly grow my income. I realized that I was giving away a huge amount of money. In fact, it was over $80,000 that I'd given to that broker in less than 6 months. Okay. So when you think about that, that money really, the most that I should have given that broker, is really $15,000 to $20,000 max, and in a really decent plan with a broker, right? And that's where they're serving you with other things, other tools and systems. Now, with that being said, I ended up with a company that offered me 100% when I realized I was giving so much away. But again, I had a monthly commitment every single month of over $1,000 a month. Okay, that was due to that broker, whether I sold a home or not. Now, when I made that decision, the market was good like it is now. We were selling a lot of homes. So it wasn't any skin off my nose to, cut that check. But then when the market turned and it was crashing, then it came to, okay, the closings aren't coming as fast. People are losing their jobs. They're not getting approved for loans. There was a ton of REOs and short sales. So the price of homes went down. So you're working a lot harder than you would normally, for less money. Do I pay that monthly fee or do I pay my mortgage? Okay. And I saw many, many, many real estate friends lose their homes through that time period. I saw them lose their cars. I was fortunate enough that I financially was hurt, but it wasn't to that extent. But with that being said, right now, a lot of agents are making a lot of good money right now. Okay. And they're feeling great. They're getting 100%. Things are cool. But the problem is when the market changes, does that model serve you? Does it still serve you? And that's what you really have to look at. Even if it's 50% for the first 4 or 5 deals, if you're making less money, longer to close, less people that you can get into homes, right? Because then all of a sudden you have too much inventory and not enough buyers. It totally flips from what we have now. Does that plan, that company serve you for that scenario? And most of the time, no, it doesn't. So the one thing that I think that you need to keep in mind again is look at the costs that you have in your business right now. Look, take a piece of paper, write it down. What is your broker providing you and how much does it cost? What are you taking care of in your business yourself and how much does that cost? Then look at your numbers. Go back and look at last year's numbers, how much you produced, and look at your split and see. And now really you should have a 1099 by now from your, real estate company. So now you've got your whole numbers, right, for what you actually made. Look at that and see, does it make sense how much money you're giving your brokerage versus what it would really cost to do this stuff yourself? And I'm talking about good lead generation, the ability to actually have a cap and to get to 100%, but also with the benefit of more that you produce, that you could actually get that back, okay? And a plan to actually have a walk away or an exit plan or a retirement, and also be able to build money now per month above and beyond your own sales, okay? So if you don't have all that, then you really need to take a look at it. And you can go interview other brokers and see what they have, but you got to ask these questions. You got to see the full picture of what they're providing you, what they're taking from you, right? Because it's years and years and years and years that you're giving the money. That could have been in your savings account or invested in your business, right? Any thoughts on that, Alex?
No, absolutely. And I had something in mind, but as soon as you said invested, I immediately went to the
Oh,
EXP
I'm
stock.
sorry.
Oh no, it's good. You were just talking about invested, and the EXP stock is up higher today, so it's been a great day. But no, I absolutely agree. And another thing, is just first off, talking splits. You're talking 100% split, and the downsides of it, things you have to think about. We're not talking bad about any brokerages here. Everybody has their own benefits necessarily, but you want to, whether you're a new agent or an existing agent, like you said, if you're an existing agent, go through and see what they're charging you. You have to do the numbers for what you did last year, and how much you really paid out to your brokerage and how much it would have cost you to do it yourself. Do the projections for next year. If you're an agent that had a good year, but you're trying to do better next year, how much more are you going to pay out next year? Well, I guess technically this year is a new year.
Right.
Uh, if you're an agent that's just going to take the test, you have to figure out, like, I'm really trying to warn you, if you're going to do something like 100 split, be ready for that. It is going to be tough because, like you said, the fees, I didn't even mention the fees. If most of the time, if you're going to get 100% split, the fees are going to be higher. So not only are you going to get a 50-50 for the first couple deals typically, but then you're getting monthly fees, and you still, like I said, you have to pay your dues, all of that. But even when you get down to breaking it down to, okay, when you go 80-20 for, there's a couple different companies out there right now that do 80-20 splits, but they're not all the same. You need to look at your cap. You need to look at, how high the cap is. Does it even have a cap, like you said? And, for example, with EXP, if we do have a cap, and if you hit the cap, you're 100%. Obviously, you have a transaction fee, but that's just per transaction. It's 200
250.
250
Yep.
$250. And then, but if you icon, which is capping, and then 20 more home sales after that,
Mhm.
you get the entire cap back. That is, uh, you have a lot more experience in the real estate field. If I'm not mistaken, that's unprecedented. No one else is doing that.
Right, exactly. So I'm just going to show you this current slide. I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see it,
I can.
Alex?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So just to explain this a little better, I'm a visual person, and so I like to show a visual as well. So with EXP, what he's talking about is the fact that there's an icon, okay? Icon is that you did do about it depends on if you're getting 2.5% or 3% commissions, okay? So honestly, that's how you can know if you're gonna have to sell 3 million or 3.5 million, in sales volume. to actually cap. So that means that you've paid back into the company $16,000. Okay, so you're on an 80-20. Every agent, no matter their experience, is on 80-20. EXP does not curtail to agents that sell more. Like with other companies, you have to sell a lot, a couple years before they're going to progress you. Okay, with EXP, no matter how long, how big your team is, whatever, everybody's at 80-20. Okay, so with that being said, once you get to the 16,000, you're at 100% for the rest of your anniversary year, which is whenever you came on with EXP. So if you didn't come on in January, then we're talking about whatever month you did come in, okay? Once that happens, you have another achievement that is possible, which is basically 20 more sales. $250 transaction fee is what you're paying out of your commission check, so you're at 100%. And then that is going to equal 5,000. EXP awards you for that because that is considered an agent that is really crushing it. And the more that you crush it, the more it benefits you. Okay. So then what happens is then you are presented with the opportunity to be an icon agent, and you get up to $16,000 in stock back based upon that achievement. And what it means by up to, there are a couple cultural things that they want you to do. And so when they talk to you, they want to make sure that, you know, you really do want to serve your community, serve the agents. And so you're getting 12,000 back in the stock. The other 4 is 2 for, you know, showing up at the shareholders meeting and for the EXP con. And then the other is speaking on Fridays to share with other agents how you became an icon agent. So you're teaching other agents how you were able to sell as many homes as you did. Okay, and that's part of the culture with EXP, is that we share. All of us share how we actually build our business. The training's free. Everything that we do is to help each other make more money. Why? Because we also have an equity share program. Okay, and we also have a stock program. And that's what you see on this screen. So the equity plan is sustainable. Okay, we've heard many rumors going around lately. We're not going to say what real estate companies or brokerages are doing this, but they are telling their agents to steer clear of EXP, that we're all going to jail. They're saying that EXP is no different than what happened with GameStop, with their stocks, being purchased fast by people that were really not investors, but they were trying to save the company. If you read that article, this is nothing like that. You cannot compare EXP, which is a company that's been around for 12 years. We are publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and all the agents have stocks with the company, so we're all shareholders. We have investors that are not with EXP that also purchase stocks, okay? And with that being said, we're getting ready to do a split, which means that right now our stocks are at 139 today, okay? That is getting up high to where outside investors may not want to purchase as much stock. So in order to keep that appealing and sustainable, you do a split. Okay, so the stocks will split, and that will actually double the amount of stocks that we have as agents, and it will drop temporarily the price per stock, but eventually that'll go back up because everybody is purchasing stocks while they're selling homes when they close, and they also are awarded. So in order to be sustainable, we're going to have that split, but that's literally going to end up doubling our retirement, our investment, okay, which is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
So with the sustainable equity plan, we just wanted to get that out there and be clear, you guys. The other rumor that brokers are telling their agents is that we are not awarded stocks. And they're also saying that you could go do this yourself if you paid it 100%. Well, yes, you could. You could go out and buy stocks, but here's the thing. We're not buying all our stocks. They're awarded to us for our production, okay? And that's why we have this set up as agent ownership. So we have 2 things, okay? Actually 3 things. We have 3 lanes, you could call it, if you're looking at a highway. Picture that in your head. 3 lanes. One is the same with every real estate company. They sell real estate, right? They get listings, they help sellers, they have buyers, they have investment properties, they sell properties, right? That's lane 1. Lane 2 is our stocks that we're looking at. That gives us the ability with production to be awarded so many shares. When you close, right here, it shows you on the first one, earn shares on your first transaction. That's every anniversary year. Earn shares when you fully cap. Earn shares when an agent you sponsor closes their first transaction. Okay, so there's a lot of shares here. It's
Hmm.
really hard for you guys to understand how many shares this really adds up to be. But I think Alex and I shared before, so today with 1,200 shares around that for myself, that'll double when the company splits.
Hmm.
Think about that. That's a lot of money. If we're at $139 per share, that's a lot of money in just under 3 years that an agent is able to have in their account. Now, if you have a team with EXP, think about all the agents on their team. They're getting a stock award for every agent on their team when they close their first deal of the year. That adds up very, very fast. We have many, 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 many agents across the country and in the world where we are international that have over $1 million in this account. Okay, I know one particular guy that has a very big team, that he has a lot of agents working for him. He's got over $6 million in this account in 3 years. Okay, so the point being is we didn't buy those. Okay,
Hmm.
majority of them were awarded to us either by the agents that we brought on or ourselves. Now we do have the opportunity to purchase stock, which is it's the third thing here on the side. That's our agent equity program. So when you opt into that, every time you close, EXP will take 5% from every transaction. They'll hold that money until they can purchase you shares. Once that equals the amount that they can, they'll buy however many they can. That is at a 10% discounted rate. Now, the good thing about that is it's emergency money. Okay, so it's not a vesting period. So however much you want to buy at a 10% discounted rate, hold on, my battery's going to die. However much you want to do, you can buy more than what's coming out of your closings at that 10% discounted rate. And then let's say that you need to purchase a new car, or you need to buy a washer and dryer, your kids' tuition's coming up. That money is able to pull out now, right? You can pull that out and use it to purchase things. We've had a lot of agents just pay off their mortgages because of the price of stocks and they had money available. The other, which is awarded to us, there's a vesting period. So it's a 3-year vesting period. Once that vests, you'll get an email that says that you've got 100 shares vesting on this date or 50 shares on this date. And then you accept it. You just click on accept. Well, then that will go it'll flip over to the other side where it says what's available. So you'll have an unavailable amount and an available amount. And so the available amount is a combination of what you purchased and then also what was awarded that had already vested.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
And with that, as an example, um, obviously you've been with EXP longer than I have, and you're sitting very well on your retirement account, which by the way, most agents don't have, even if they've been in real estate as long as you. I am newer to EXP, and just off my first transaction, the stock's at $139, 134 actually, currently, but it hit 139 and it's still projected to
mhm,
go up. And I got 12 stocks for my first transaction, not for what I bought in, because I did buy in with the agent equity program. I'm talking about just awarded to me. Now, yes, I can't touch those stocks. They take 3 years to vest. But the money that I have thousands of dollars of awarded stocks, and I also have thousands of dollars of agent equity program. I can use the thousands I do have for the agent equity program whenever I would like.
right,
Those are they don't need to vest, but all just on top of what are we? Number one overall, we're a real estate company. So on top of me just going and doing my normal real estate business that I'm building, I have thousands of dollars in a Morgan Stanley account, that if you would have asked me a year ago, I didn't think I'd have. It's insane. And EXP stock to compares to GameStop is just lazy. GameStop went from 6 months ago, it was $4. Then it went to, I want to say a month ago, it shot up to about $16 to $18. And then, yes, overnight, over the period of 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, it shot up to, I think at the most, it was like $430. Yes, that's insane. And don't get me wrong, I get why some people are, impressed by EXP's growth, but we've done that over a year. Technically, we've done that over a couple years where
right,
we've been building up to this. But
right.
it's just now people are realizing how great EXP is. That's why the stocks are going up. We didn't shoot up to 139 overnight. We shot up to 139 since I'd say the first real like increase was March last year.
Yeah, we
It's
were
been
at
about a year.
19, $20 for a while. We
Yeah.
were kind of right there. And then once we started opening in all these other countries, it
Hmm.
really got the attention of investors.
Yeah.
And that's really what happened. And plus our growth. We just enrolled, I just heard some numbers the other day that just in January, we enrolled 3,000 more agents
Yeah.
to the company. And so you guys have to really think about this, okay? You might be tired of people calling you to talk to you about EXP. You might be tired about the text messages you get. Don't blow people off that are reaching out to you. I'm telling you, it would behoove you to listen to how this would actually change things for you, okay? Because it's not about your broker, it's not about the company you're at, it's about you and what it can actually do for you because it is agent owned, it's
Hmm.
created by agents, and
Welcome back. You're muted. You're muted.
sorry about that. I plugged in the wrong charger.
It's all right.
So anyway, what did it stay on when I was gone, or did you have to come back in?
No, I kept it going. I was just telling them basically, just because your broker's telling you certain things about EXP, they want you to stay with them because they make money off of you. Do yourself the service of actually, at least exploring the opportunity that is EXP to see if it's for you. You know, a lot of people are changing their lives with EXP.
Right,
Why
and on
wouldn't
top,
you want that for yourself?
right on top of that, think about it. If you were going to, the funniest thing to me is when people say, "Well, I asked my broker about you." Why would you ask your broker about EXP? That is so crazy because that's like you're going to go buy a Ford and you're going to go over and talk to the Chevy guy and ask him what he thinks about Ford. Why would you do that? That makes no sense at all. Of
That's not how
course,
you get an honest opinion.
right. That's not an honest opinion. Talk to other EXP agents. Ask them, what has EXP done to change things in their business? Are they producing more? What is the lead generation like? What is their, what does it look like for them for their
Hmm.
stocks? Is this real? Don't just take what your broker says as truth.
Yeah.
If you do, you have to look at it that they don't want to lose you. And recently there was quite a few I would say large teams that were, getting ready to shift and come over. And then, of course, the brokers want to have an exit interview. This is kind of like a new thing with a lot of brokerages. They want to have an exit interview to find out what they can do to try to keep you. Okay. And so they'll do things like, hey, we'll give you free office for 2 years. We won't charge you a thing, 100% commission for 2 years. Well, think about that. Why would they offer that to you? Why would they take no money from you for 2 years? It's because they know one thing: you're going to take a bunch of agents with them. Okay. So if they're going to lose your whole entire team, or let's say you're an individual agent that produces but has a lot of friends in the office, and you're going to take half of those people with you, they're going to do whatever it takes to make it appealing for you to stay because they're willing to let you get 100% to maintain the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
And even
true.
if you don't take everybody with you right away, because you're still friends with those people. They're going to be asking you, "Hey, how are you doing at EXP? How's it going?" And when the answer is, "Hey, it's pretty freaking great," they're going to all start considering the same thing. That's what your broker's afraid of, and that's why they tell you that. Because if you ask, we're one of the biggest growing, fastest growing too, real estate, brokerages in the world, worldwide, and of I would be surprised if anybody watching this video that is with another brokerage doesn't have somebody that they know and like with EXP that they could reach out to and just ask. Just ask. You don't have to take our word for it. I guarantee you could reach out to any other EXP agent that you know and like, and I guarantee you they'd tell you the same thing.
Right, exactly. And there's other excuses that we hear from agents like, well, I have 3 deals I'm getting ready to close. Well, that's going to stay with your broker anyway.
Hmm.
Okay, so that broker's still going to get paid. There's no reason that you can't start to switch your business over if you've got things that are closing. That broker's going to want that money anyway. Okay. And then again, a lot of people get nervous with the goodbye to their broker, but again, think about it. Do you really think that your broker cares that much about you? They care about you producing, they care about your sales, they like you as a person, but at the end of the day, you're replaceable.
Yeah.
You really are. And so, they don't want you to leave because they've already trained you, you're already making money. They pretty much, not that your business is predictable, but they know how much money they're going to make from you. So
Hmm.
they don't want to lose you. When people are talking bad about EXP, it's because one, either they're uneducated about what EXP is. It's a real estate platform to help agents make more money
Hmm.
at a much cheaper amount, which they can afford. I don't think there's agents that can't afford $85 a month. $85 a month to run your business, that's what it costs with EXP. Okay. And on top of that, these brokers, again, they're looking out for their retirement, they're building their wealth. They're not concerned about building your wealth. They're not. I know that's hard to hear, but again, when you hear these negative things, you need to do your research. And trust me, there's agents that have left EXP that are not a good fit for EXP. Not everybody belongs at EXP because we are a company that, one, has the culture of sharing and helping others grow. Two, if you're going to whine and complain and think that EXP is just going to grow your business for you, that's not going to happen either. You still have to take action. You still have to sell. We're just giving you more money for your production,
Hmm.
right? So you still, if you're not selling with your other broker, don't think that EXP is going to be a miracle for you.
Yeah. If real estate's a business, not a hobby for you,
Right.
you're gonna make money.
Exactly. So it's not a magic pill. EXP is not a magic pill. The third lane that we were talking about, we talked about the stocks. The third lane is the revenue share.
Hmm.
That is a completely different thing. A lot of brokers mix that up. They think that the stock program and the revenue share is the same thing. I've heard, team leads from other companies tell people that our stocks, that we are driven by Wall Street, that we don't have board members. Not true. Of course, we have board members. We're a real company with presidents and CEOs and board members and attorneys. We have to. We had to go through all of that in order to even get approved to be on NASDAQ. NASDAQ doesn't allow just any company to be public. We had to prove our business formula. We had to prove what we have as far as board members and president and their backgrounds, right? So we went through all that. We're a solid company. All of that is just crap when you hear that, okay? And so the third lane, the revenue share, is not the same as stocks. Don't confuse stocks with profit sharing that Keller Williams has. We are not based, our stocks are not based on the profit of one center. Our stocks are based on the fact that we're publicly traded stocks. That's
Hmm.
what it is, right? Revenue share is not the same as the model with Keller Williams either. Revenue share is completely different. Revenue share is where the company has that $16,000 per agent that's going into a pot. That's the revenue the company's making, right? And because our company has very little overhead, because we don't have the brick and mortar, we don't have the requirements of franchises. We're one brokerage. We're not a franchise. We're one company. There's a lot of overhead cut. Because that overhead is cut, the company is able to take 50% of that $16,000 per person that comes in and put that back into the revenue share pot with the agents. Okay. So the agents that are wanting to have another stream of income, they're tired of the roller coaster rat race of chasing for more properties and closing and closing and closing. They're tired of that. They want some predictability. That gives them a paycheck every single month. If you bring on agents into the company, put it this way. When I referred people to Remax, I got a $1,000 one-time fee. Okay. So that was 8 agents I brought over. So $8,000 over a period of time that I earned from bringing those agents over. With EXP, bring 8 agents over, you're getting paid again over and over and over and over and over again for their closings. And that money is paid to you the following month. So you're paid like an owner. You're paid just like a broker gets paid every time an agent closes. Okay, so again, rumors of, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, you're going to all go to jail. It's not true. It is not true. This is money redistributed. That's all. The money that goes into the pot, 50% goes back into the agent share. The reason it's 16,000, okay, that is so that there is a cap. And then once the person caps, the agent that brought them over no longer gets a revenue share for that person. Okay, so it stops. So when you cap, the person that brought you over no longer makes money from you during the anniversary year. It caps too. Okay, that's a very important thing to understand. But if you bring agents over because you love your company and you're an agent owner, you have ownership in the company, why wouldn't you work your company like you would if you owned it? Of course you would. You're an owner now, so you're going to go and talk to agents. So people aren't trying to recruit you, just to recruit you. They're building their retirement and they want to show you how to as well. Okay, so you get the same opportunity. So quit being rude to EXP agents that are reaching out to you, because one, would you rather make your fellow agents more money or your broker? Two, would you rather make yourself more money or your broker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so stop being rude, stop acting like you're above everybody, that you don't need to hear about this, and just listen. If it's not for you, it's fine. It doesn't have to be, but it is a good plan. It is a wonderful plan. It gives you ownership. It gives you retirement. It gives you everything you could possibly want. I had my own real estate company. I brought my company over to this platform because it gave me and my agents everything we needed and we could afford it. And not to mention all the training and everything else. So that's why we do these videos, you guys, is because we want to educate you on the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And like Alex said, you don't have to take our word for it. But when you start talking to every EXP agent, instead of telling them to stop calling you, take their call and ask them questions. You will hear the same thing over and over and over again. Because it's true. And we can show
Absolutely.
you the facts.
It's
100%.
2021. Don't be afraid of change. Things are changing, and that's good. I mean, you should be excited that EXP is the first to do this. We are the Amazon of, the real estate industry as far as changing things up, because I know I am not as been in, I haven't been in real estate as long as you have, but things could stand to change, and they could still continue to change from here even more. This is great because it gives more power to the agents. It's not all about the broker hovering above everybody taking their cut. This is a great thing, and maybe it's not for you, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't even listen.
Yeah, if you don't even listen. And if you haven't been reached out by an EXP agent, get a hold of Alex and I. We would love to show you everything that you need to see. We will jump on our computer. We will show you our back office. We will show you what we have. We will show you how everything works. I mean, our lead generation system, our transaction coordination system, everything you could possibly need, we have within this company and this real estate platform. You do not have all this with your other companies. You don't. But you do with this company because it's about the agents. It
Certainly not
really
for
is.
$85 a month.
Right, $85 a month. So, again, come back and watch our videos. We're going to keep talking to you about why EXP makes sense to an agent,
Mm-hmm.
why EXP makes sense to us. If an agent leaves EXP, they didn't know what they had.
Mm-hmm.
They really didn't. And that sometimes falls on the team that they joined or the person that they joined. If you came on our team, I can explain EXP inside and out, and I can show you exactly how it's going to help you. There are agents that come into EXP and they don't utilize everything EXP has, so they really don't know. And so then they're going to complain, but part of it's because the people that brought them on didn't share with them everything EXP has. And it can be a little overwhelming because we have so much. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to have somebody that guides you through that process. Joining the right person and the right team with EXP does matter. Okay. And joining somebody that actually does coach, train, and mentor. Alex, he coaches on the KV Core lead generation system. I coach and train on a national platform with EXP. So, you're going to get the value and the help that you need from people like us,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're not going to get that. I can't say you're going to get that from every single agent. So do your due diligence if you are looking to EXP, and, make sure you're picking the right people, because in the rev share model, you can't change once you have chosen who has actually introduced you to EXP or been the most influential to why you joined EXP. You
Yeah.
can't change that once you make that choice, because that disrupts the revenue share, plan. Okay. So it's not that easy to change your mind. Our team offers not only free monthly training and workshops, but we also do team huddles. We also do it was a 12-week course, but we're going to bring that into 4-week course just to get you through it faster, and then coach you more on those things that you're doing, more one-on-one. So again, we have that in place to help you to grow your business, whether you want more listings, whether you want to master buyers, if you want to, master FSBOs, expireds, whatever it is, we have that in place for you to learn with our team. Not to mention the World University platform has phenomenal trainers every day with over 50 hours of live training per week. All of that is here for you. And it's not going to cost you more money. It's $85, 80-20 split.
Yeah.
Okay, with a cap.
And like you were saying, essentially you have the chance when you join EXP to choose who you want to work with. You get to basically choose. Granted, we have people from all over the country, but who's in your office, so to speak? Who do you want to be talking to on a daily basis? And make sure you choose the right people. Make sure you choose people that, one, are self-motivated and are hard workers, because you want those people above you, the people that are going to be working with you, to be able to help you and provide information, have it already set up. You don't want to be sitting in with somebody and they're still setting everything up. We have everything set up. You just have to, if you reach out to us, we could put you in our team, and we have all the trainings and everything already set up. We have weekly meetups. I mean, that's the things you have to make sure, just like any other team you would join, make sure it's right for you.
Right, true coaching. And we're not just, we're not saying that we're doing just a quick boot camp agent orientation thing like most brokerages do. Ours is forever. We don't stop teaching and training you and coaching you. It's a continuous thing so that we can help agents at every single level move
And it's
forward
evolving.
and evolve. And mindset training is really important too, right? Because that's one thing that if we don't help you with the mindset, you're not going to do the necessary things you need to do to build your business.
Yeah.
So we handle all that in our group.
Our team just launched a program a couple months back that is phenomenal. First off, I love the first week of it. It really focuses on, especially for new agents. You have to understand, one, everybody has $100,000 in mind. It's always the first goal everybody has. What does it take in your market to get there? Something you really need to think about, and that is a big thing that focuses on. What do you want to make? How does it? What do you need to do to get there? What do you need to do daily to get there? That is a big feature of week one, but there's so many more weeks than that, as well as, so that was already a great system that they gave us all on the team for free. And now they're like, you know what? This isn't enough. We need to do more. So now they're evolving and they're coming up with a whole nother program that they're going to be launching here shortly. So it's not like we came up with one, program and we're like, that's good enough. We're just trying to draw people in. No, we want, everybody thrives when you do better too. If you really want to do better, and want better for everybody else and under you and in your team, you have to constantly evolve and train, because the world's changing. 2020 proved that. Most people don't go to an office anymore, so that's things you have to adjust with. And the market's changing. It's all video now. Those are the trainings that we provide. Not everybody's
Social
keeping
media,
up.
right?
Not everybody's keeping up. I mean, you're watching us probably on YouTube or Facebook right now.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And our trainings are the same way. And so
Mhm.
with our trainings, we do them live with our group, and then they're on our Facebook page to go back and watch. And so that's a phenomenal thing, so that if you can't attend the whole training because you had to go out to a closing or you had to go show a home, well, you can go back to it. And then on our group, you've got, right now 10 coaches that you can email any one of us or chat right there on the actual group, or text message or call, and we're going to help you. So, we all do this for free because we have a vested interest in the whole company to make sure the whole company continues to grow, right? And that we all sell more homes. And that's why we are hitting, as the top, independent brokerage, and we have the massive sales volume, is because we teach you how to sell homes. And in today's market, not just the old school methods, but we also are agile and we adjust with how and where technology is going. So it's always getting better. So do yourself a favor. We've talked a lot tonight, but again, these are things that weigh heavy on our heart, because when other companies are preventing you and making you put on your blinders to EXP, it's hurting you. It really is, because EXP is a phenomenal company, and you can make all the excuses you want, all the excuses. We've heard everything. Okay. You need to check it out for yourself. And if you're not happy where you're at, you're giving too much money away, you need to make a change. You do. And there's no other company like EXP. We're the only model that is agent owned, agent obsessed, affordable, with every tool and system and training you can imagine. Nobody else has this. They all have lane 1. Okay. We have lane 2 and lane 3, and I told you what those were. That's a fact. Okay. So anyway, you guys, it was again a pleasure to be on here with you, Alex. I always enjoy our conversations. And, you know, look forward to the next time that we're on here again. Not only do we talk about EXP, but we also talk about things that are going to help agents. We do share different trainings and things like that. We have guest speakers on that will help you, you know, with your buyers and sellers. We also do shows geared towards buyers and sellers. So we want to make sure we're providing good content to you. So please subscribe, you know, to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook pages. Also, make sure you hit the little bell for the notifications, and personal message us, or DM is, you know, I guess the direct message is what they're saying now. I'm old, right? So direct message us so that we know what your questions are. And again, if you're not asking questions, you know, we can't help you, but ask us questions. Let us show you how this could actually change things in a big way for you. Okay. So you guys have a wonderful week, and we look forward to seeing you next time.